Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Clinical Application. No, I've been going through all the books that I've read on this channel, and it came out to something like 528, not including Love Like Sky. This is the fourth chapter we are picking up in. Love Like Sky. Peace. Welcome, YouTube, to your peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel Riley, coming to you live from the light here in LA. So, peace. We are now reading Love Like Sky, Chapter 4, Swear to Josh. Page 33 for those reading along and in the playlist. Swear to Josh. Once upstairs, I could see Peaches was in her room, opening drawers and stuffing everything she owned into her overnight bag. I eased in front of Tangie's door, practicing different ways to apologize. Then it opened. What are you doing by my door? I wasn't trying to listen in on you, I said, and put my hands up like I had been busted. What's up with the hands? She asked as I dropped them. It's what my daddy does sometimes. It's not what girls do. If my tongue wasn't a brick, I would have been fast enough to ask her what girls did do. Hello, what do you want? She asked, tucking some braids behind her ears. Just wanted to apologize for before. You already did. I'm not buying it, Georgiana. What else? You can call me Georgie. It kinda sounds like Tangy. I'll call you Georgie, G baby, Peaches said, going from her room back into mine. Probably wasn't the best time to ask her not to call me Georgiana, but I didn't like it. Only Georgie or G baby. Georgiana sounded like a teacher's pet. Mama said I got the name G baby because I'd run to daddy for every little thing. He'd swoop me up and say, "What's wrong with Georgie's baby? What's wrong with George's baby?" Peach's real name is Patrice, but Mama loved Libby's sliced peaches when she was pregnant with her, so that's how she got her nickname. I didn't mind G baby, but Georgie sounded like an almost teenager. I got that. I got the name for you, and you know what it is. Then she mouthed it in slow motion. Snoop Tattler. I'm not a tattletale. I won't say anything. Swear to Josh. What? I mean, swear to God. I flinched like a lightning bolt, or worse yet, Grandma Sugar was about to strike me for using the Lord's name in vain. But I needed Tangi to believe me. I zipped my lips like I was 5. That dorky move made me want to crawl underneath my koalas. Tangi's cell rang. Just a sec, Val, she said. Right before I turned to walk away, she grabbed my arm. Just be sure to keep your mouth shut. Georgiana, Georgie, G baby, whatever your name is. If you blab, you're going to wish you weren't any of them. A baseball-sized lump sat in my throat, and I could barely respond. Tangi's door shut so hard it almost blew me to my room. which is just where I needed to be to figure out how to get to Nikki's. I went and combed Peach's hair, and we got ready to go to Daddy's. After putting on her favorite Princess Frog's short set, somehow Peaches fell asleep, and I watched Angie's door like it was the entrance to Willy's Wonka's factory. About an hour later, Daddy's car pulled up. Even though they'd been divorced for a while, hearing Daddy ringing the doorbell was odd. It used to be that whenever I'd heard his car, either I'd run to the door or Mama would, or I'd listen to his keys bang against the doorknob. I wouldn't move a muscle until he'd say, "Daddy's home," and then I'd take off. Mama would put her hands on her hips. "You gonna break your back letting that big girl jump on you like that?" You know, you know what the doctor said. Peaches was still a baby. So Daddy would scoop her right up. He'd wink at Mama. "I got room for one more." She'd wave her hand like she was shooing a fly. I pushed that out of my mind and walked to the top of the stairs to listen. "Come on in," Mama said. "Good to see you," Daddy replied. "Sales okay?" "It's up and down. People always going to need a car sooner or later." "How's it going at Etna?" "Folks always going to need insurance sooner or later." They laughed. I loved the familiar sound of it. I used to fall asleep to it as they watched the late show. But those times happened before the shouting and slamming doors. If divorce made them laugh together again, it had to be better than them being married, I guess. "Gee, baby, Peaches, Peaches, your daddy is here. Get your bags together and come downstairs." Peaches was still out cold. It was sort of strange that news about Daddy didn't keep her bouncing around, but I figured that Mama's big breakfast must have caught up with her. "Hey, Daddy's here," I told her. She yawned and rubbed her eyes. "Okay, is he coming up?" "No, silly. This isn't his house. We gotta go downstairs. Go wash your face, and you got sleep in your eyes. I'll get our bags." Peach's excitement seemed to have gone down the drain. She walked to the bathroom as if I were making her brush her teeth to get ready for bed. "Gee, baby, what's keeping you two?" Mama asked her way upstairs. "You okay, Peaches? I thought you would have met your daddy at the curb." I didn't say nothing. Mama, I didn't say nothing, Mama. I did her hair and everything. She's just tired. Peaches fastened her barrette. "I'm not tired. I'm ready." Mama put the back of her hand on Peach's forehead. "You're a little warm." "I feel good, Mama. I'll call and make sure your daddy takes your temperature later today." I touched my forehead with the back of my hand, and she said, "Don't you even try it," Mama said. Once we got downstairs, Peaches shrieked, "Daddy!" loud enough to make the house rattle. I bet Millipede was waiting in the car with the cheesy too white grin of hers. The only thing that wasn't perfect about her smile was that it belonged to her, and so did my daddy. Am I imagining things, or did you turn into a supermodel when your daddy wasn't looking? Daddy said as he hugged me. I breathed into his Dracar Noir, but didn't enjoy it as much when I thought of Millipede buying it instead of Mama. I kept my hands at my side, but I wanted to wrap around him tighter than I ever had. Daddy's hair and beard were what he called fresh out of the barber chair neat. I was happy he had on jeans and a Falcons t shirt. He never stopped by his dealership with jeans on, even when it wasn't open. For a few months, Mama and Daddy got separated, which Mama said meant taking time to remember why they got married in the first place. Now, I know it was nothing but a dress rehearsal for divorce, just like when I was in the Wiz and we had to pretend it was the real show when it wasn't. Daddy called us right before bedtime, and some nights I'd hear Mama crying in her room when she thought we were asleep. That's when that's what she did a lot until she met Frank, which is one reason why I like him. But I never told anybody that. One time, Daddy picked us up for what Mama called our outing, and we stopped by the dealership for a quick minute and watched TV in his office the entire day. Peaches and I didn't mind because we could peek out of Daddy's office window and catch a glimpse of him shaking hands. He'd blow us a kiss if he caught our eye, and it sort of made up for him not being there to kiss us goodnight. When we got home, we told Mama what we'd done. That next morning, she called him and they argued and argued. We haven't been back to the dealership since. Peace, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here for this live book reading of Love Like Sky. Thank you so much. Oh, much love. We're pushing towards 700 on this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. Thank you for being here, live from the light here in LA. Daddy tickled me, and I put my hands to my stomach. He went for my neck. Kit Kat, we better sign this girl up for the top model show. She could be our meal ticket. I giggled. Stop it, Daddy. It wasn't even the tickling or modeling stuff that was making me giddy. He hadn't called Mama Kit Kat in forever, and it sounded real nice. I'll have them home by this time tomorrow, Cat. Daddy walked us to the door. Peaches was on one side, and I was on the other. Mama rushed ahead of us and opened the door. That's fine. I squeezed Daddy's hand tighter. Is Millicent in the car? Nope. It's just Daddy and his girls. Really? I said. Scout's honor. Mama stood at the door and kissed both of us. Call me before bedtime. Okay, Mama, I said and took off. As Daddy was struggling getting Peaches into her booster seat, Mama shouted, Need any help? I got it, Cat. Strap stuck. Strap stuck. Make sure they stay hydrated, George. Already about 75 degrees and it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. Might hit 100. Mama stood rubbing her hands around each other like she was putting on lotion. That's what she does when she's fighting the urge to do something that she doesn't think Daddy can do. Anything from cooking spaghetti to giving us medicine. A few seconds later, Mama was waving like we were going to a week-long summer camp. I waved back, then gazed up. There was Tangy watching us from the window. I waved and I thought she waved back, but I couldn't be sure. Miss my girls already. Take care of them, George. They're in good hands, Cat. I rolled my eyes at that and wondered how I could get out of his hands and over to Nikki's and how long we'd really be millipede free. I swear we hadn't been driving one whole minute, and Peaches was sleeping again. What was with her today? Hmm. Where you taking us? I asked. Out for some fun. You haven't come around like you promised. You said we'd see you so much. It would be like you and Mama wasn't divorced. He reached over and put his hand on my knee. I folded my arms. Things have been a little hectic, Georgie. Your mama and I Figured that you and Peaches needed time to adjust to your new home, you know? Yeah. This is good, right? Thank you so much for being here. Excellent. Thank you so much for reading books with us. Eyes, heart, love. Not that word again. No, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? I braced myself. Those words would never fly with Mama or old Daddy, but this was guilty Daddy. Time to get used to the Frankster. I almost didn't answer, surprised that he didn't say anything about my sassiness. I like when you call him Dr. Frankenstein better. He chuckled. Shouldn't have startled that. Shouldn't have started that. I was being immature. So you saying it's Mama's fault you haven't been around? Not at all. I'm going to do better starting today. You two getting along with his daughter. You you two getting along with his daughter? So so, I said, even though it was a disaster, but I didn't need him sprouting off to Mama on my behalf. If we have to get used to Frank, shouldn't you have to be around Tangy? You mean taking her out with us? Yeah, I guess. Well, it's not that easy when the kid is older, but that's a good idea. I'll be sure to ask her next time, okay, baby? His voice was too soothing, and he called me baby, not Georgie or G baby, but baby. Bad news coming right up. Peaches snorted, and I looked back at her. What time did she go to bed? Get to bed last night, Daddy asked. She's usually into her second story before we hit our first stop sign. She woke up early and had her favorite breakfast biscuit with extra strawberry syrup. I laughed. A couple, I think it zonked her out. When Daddy got off the highway, I knew where we were going. Monster Miniature Golf. It was a haunted house for putt putt open all year. Daddy wanted to mold one of us into a female Tiger Woods. It was in College Park, which wasn't that far from where the Atlanta airport was. Whenever we'd see a plane coming in to land, Peaches pointed up at it and like it was a pterodactyl. But I really didn't care where we were or what we were doing as long as we didn't have to share him. Think your sister will be up for some golf? She'll be excited. Peaches kicked the back of my seat in her sleep. When I peeped over, she opened her eyes. You okay? I asked. Yeah. Seconds later, Daddy pulled into Monster Golf. In the center of the parking lot stood a huge Godzilla with pointy teeth. It would have been more convincing if the pigeons hadn't built a nest on its head. We're here, Daddy said, like we'd landed on the moon. Peaches didn't squeal or reach for her seatbelt. Daddy hopped out and unbuckled Peaches. Then she grabbed his hand in mine. Ready for me to beat my girls at putt putt? You never win, Daddy, Peaches said as soon as we opened the doors. A skinny girl with white makeup and lipstick for blood running down the side of her face greeted us. You got me shaking in my boots, Daddy said. She smiled and slid Daddy a flyer showing the summer specials. 3 today? Yes, ma'am, Daddy said. He opened his wallet as she scanned the coupons. We're in luck, girls. 2 for 1 cotton candy. There were about 20 other people in the place, and Michael Jackson's Thriller blasted from the speakers. I was nervous, like that girl in the Thriller video, waiting for Millipede to pop up at any second. But even after 4 games of putt putt and a wad of cotton candy, we were safe. That was until Daddy said, My girls ready for lunch? We were walking from the course and back inside the haunted house where Daddy had to pay the bill. Monster Mash was playing for about the 15th time. Peaches raised her hand. I am. Not really, I said, and narrowed my eyes at Daddy. Me either, Peaches said. Well, Millicent would like to cook lunch for us. I knew it. I pounded the artificial grass with my club. You said that this was our time. Now, baby, it is. It's us right now, right? I didn't answer. But just like you two need to get used to Frank, I want you to also be comfortable around Millicent. We checked out and walked toward the exit. Once we got in the car, Peaches talked about hitting the ball in the goblin's mouth for about 5 minutes before she fell asleep again. You know, you gotta you gotta give Millicent a chance. Okay, Daddy, I said, thinking of Peaches. She'd take time with Daddy any way she could get it. Helping her with that whole adjusting thing was like what Grandma Sugar said sometimes. It was wearing on my nerves. And we completed chapter 4, page 43 of this wonderful, magical book, Love Like Sky, by Leslie C. Youngblood. Thank you for reading with us. Love Like Sky. Wish all is well. Shaking it up on YouTube. And for those that are needs us to pray for, we would love to pray for you. Love to pray for you. So anytime, that's what the archangel energy is about. We take the Most High gives us, and we use that to shine light on the world. So that's the energy you're in when you come into these book readings. Thank you so much for being here. Highest heart love. These feasts, look at this amethyst crystal. Beautiful, right? It's raw, beautiful. Highest heart love. I wish you enjoyed the reading. Love to all our friends and family, all the beautiful, beautiful solar returns, right? Yes. We want to give a love and honor to them. Thank you to all of our friends and family. Happy Poetry Month. And at the end, I will read a poem that I wrote about this book. So let's have a glass of love water, enjoying this wonderful Good Friday. Highest heart love. Thank you. Shukran. Merci beaucoup. I love you. Seni señores. Mm. I love you. I love you. I love you. That is some great love water. Highest heart love. Thank you for being here and reading with us. Right? Yes. You see the new trinkets? Yeah. Much love. We're pushing towards 700 subs on this peaceful part of YouTube. Thank you for being here. Highest heart love. And reading with us. Shaking it up on YouTube. Reading books. Right? Sending out some new love mail because it's a new month. So, and writing poems. Full moon was so beautiful. Even got to go out on a great workout this AM, do my 6 miles, and it was amazing. I got to see the moon clear the sky as the sun rose. Beautiful. So grateful and thankful for all I have now and all that is coming to me. Thank you so much. Shouts out to my dad. You did it. Dad, you did it! Yes! My dad is free. Highest heart love, free from a chain of someone trying to drain his energy. We prayed yearly and daily for this day. So, Dad, you did it. I'm so proud for you, thankful and grateful for you. I love you so much. Ay, 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 ay. Love you, you. Ay, 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 ay. Love, 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 love. You. You know it, because I love myself. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. Shukran. Bismillah.